Hello, good evening. It's quite late in the evening. It's past 11 o'clock, 11:03 to be exact, of June 28. Well, I have to record this particular um, blog because I would like to bring to you already the part 2 of my previous blog about Rizal while he was in Dapitan. And this particular part 2 would be concentrated on Rizal's transformation, the transformation Rizal did to Dapitan. Let me start with Rizal beautifying, remodeling the town, especially the town plaza, because when he saw the town plaza, it was so different from the town plaza, from the plazas he had seen in Europe. And he would like to at least do something that would make the people enjoy going to the plaza. So he decided to beautify, remodel the town, and beautify the town plaza. He he constructed, or he made a big relief map of Mindanao in the town plaza, and that particular relief map was based on the map done by a French Jesuit priest by the name of Father Pedro Murillo Velarde. That Father Velarde had that map done, had his map done in 1752, and Rizal, uh, it served as the model of the map that Rizal constructed or made in Dapitan, in the town plaza of Dapitan, of course with the assistance, with the help of his former teacher in Ateneo, Father Di Paula Sanchez, also a Jesuit, and also with the help of the townspeople, because Rizal started in introducing the spirit of bayanihan in Dapitan when he stayed there. So after that, he also decided to build more roads, improve the roads, build more roads. And you might be asking, was Rizal an engineer that he was building roads? Yes, he was. Yes, he was not an engineer, but Rizal was a licensed surveyor. So alam niya kung paano ang gagawin. So aside from the building more roads, better roads, he also uh, constructed a dam, constructed a water system para magkaroon ng safe water, drinking water ang mga tao, and he dredged the canal in order to stop the spread of malaria. Uh, Aside from that, he also look into the welfare of the farmers and the fishermen, because Rizal noticed that the fishermen were not were not catching much fish. So what he did was to introduce to them modern way of fishing. And also the farmers, he taught the farmers modern agriculture, because they were using the primitive method of agriculture. So he encouraged them to practice crop rotation, use fertilizer, and to use modern farm machinery. In fact, he even purchased modern farm machinery for the farmers, for them to be able to have more production. And aside from that, Rizal noticed that the Dapitanos were getting or buying most of their goods from the Chinese. The Chinese were monopolizing the business in Dapitan, and they were selling the products at a higher price to the Dapitanos. So what Rizal did was organize them into a cooperative, Sociedad de Agricultores, which definitely made the farmers have a sense of ownership of that particular cooperative, They were purchasing their daily needs from the cooperatives at the same time at a lower price, and at the same time they knew that they have that kind of ownership with that particular cooperatives. And with that feat of Rizal, uh, he could be considered as the father of cooperatives in the Philippines. This is not very much discussed, no? He's being the one who started cooperatives in the Philippines, but I would refer to him as the father of cooperatives in our country. So, uh, with that, he also engaged in he also noticed, no, that the Pitanos were producing bricks, but they were not producing much also. So he decided to invent a machine for brick making. He invented a wooden machine for brick making, and when the Pitanos used that particular machine he invented, they were able to have a production of 6,000 bricks in one day. Big production compared to the previous production that they had. There were so many poor people in Dapitan when Rizal arrived there. And many of them actually did not have formal schooling. Many did not even know how to read and write. That's why Rizal definitely, yun ang unang-una niyang ginawa eh. Uh, magtayo ng school para sa mga, lalo na sa mga kabataan, because we know very well that education is very important to Rizal. And by educating the young men who were with him in his farm in Talisay, he was also trying to develop in them this particular, sabi niya, for them to know how to be a man. Know how to be a man. Kaya may mga pagsubok siyang ginagawa sa kanyang mga estudyante para malaman niya hindi lang yung talas ng isip, kung hindi yung kanilang paninindigan bilang mga lalaki. Wala naman siyang estudyanteng babae, lalaki lang. Okay, so may cooperative na sila, crop na yun, nag ano na yung mga farmers. But one thing that Rizal also would like to do is, aside from the beautification now of the town plaza, he wanted the town especially the town plaza lighted. But where would he get the money? Hindi pa naman ganun siya kumikita. He had so many patients, but the patients, many of them were indigents, and Rizal would not even collect from them. He would not charge a centavo from the indigent patients, and marami sila. In fact, sabi ni Rizal to one of the letters he sent to his friend, so many poor people in Dapitan, they could not even buy the medicine I prescribed to them. So most of the time I have to give them medicine gratis. Ibig sabihin free, pati medicine free, yung pagtingin free. Sino kaya mga doktor ang gagawa niyan ngayon? Libre lahat, ano? But Rizal did that because yung kanya, the sense of service was in the heart of Rizal. That's why he did that. And the desire to definitely give lights, to the Pitan, especially the town was in the heart of Rizal, but where would he get the money? And God was very good to Rizal. He was very kind to Rizal because he knew that Rizal had a good heart. So there was this very rich English patient of Rizal who paid him 500 pesos. Today, walang kwenta na yung 500 pesos. But during the time of Rizal, it was so much. And so Rizal used the 500 pesos in lighting the streets, and lighting the Pitan, and lighting the town. He used coconut oil lamps. So the town was brightened. It became alive, especially in the evening, and people love to go around to make pasyal. in the town plaza, and they were so happy and they were so proud that their community, their town plaza was definitely had come to life. Nagkaroon ng kulay, nagkaroon ng buhay ang kanilang plaza. And aside from doing that, may mga ginawa pa siya na marami sa Dapitan. Aside kang ang pinaka ano nga doon ay yung pagpapaganda sa bayan. But you know, Rizal was a person who always think of so many things. He wanted to do so many things. And he was not just contented doon sa kanyang talisay land. He would like to establish an agriculture colony. And he was eyeing a particular sitio Punot, in sitio Punot doon sa Sandangan Bay, no, near along Sandangan Bay, because he knew that in that particular sitio there was plenty of water. At the same time, there were already port facilities, and so he would want an agriculture colony to be established there, because you know, Rizal was thinking of establishing a Filipino colony in Sandakan, North Borneo, but it did not materialize. So ito ngayon ang gusto niya, ito na lang agriculture colony in Sitio Punot. Well, it did not materialize also because you know, he had to leave Dapitan. But this will I will have to tackle it later on. However, he was able to purchase another big tract of land in what we now know as Katipunan town, also in Zamboanga del Norte. And it was converted by Rizal. Rizal planted so many plants there, so many trees there. If you are going to go to Zamboanga del Norte, you try to go to ano lang sa Dapitan, malapit lang. You try to go to Katipunan because it is there, not that Rizal really planted so many plants, so many trees. It's really a beautiful place. But you know, this particular agricultural land was purchased by Rizal from one of his patients by the name of Calexto Carrion. If we are Calexto Carrion, who later this Calexto Carrion agreed to sell the big land to Rizal. And Rizal decided to have the land taken care of, administered by his sister Trinidad. But later on, Trinidad decided to hand over the care of the agricultural lands to a former student of Dr. Jose Rizal by the name of Fernando Iguia. Now, this Fernando Iguia later on, this agricultural land later on was sold by Trinidad. Napatay na si Rizal nung kanilang binenta yung lupain ni Rizal doon. Was sold by Trinidad to another Iguia, Crisostomo Iguia Sr., who and the condition was that the Iguias would retain the name of Dr. Jose Rizal in that agricultural land. So if you will be going there, you will see a marker there, ang sakahan ni Rizal. And there may monument si Rizal doon. Makikita ninyo yon. Tapos mayroon siyang marker doon. I was able to see the place, and it was a nice place, very peaceful place. And when Rizal was also in Dapitan, of course, Rizal was also thinking of his own life. Hindi naman, tao lang naman si Rizal. Rizal was a hero, yes, but he was also a human being. He had to earn also. He had to take care of his needs also. May pamilya rin naman siya. Mayroon siyang mga kapatid, mayroon siyang magulang. Kaya he engaged in business, and he engaged in fishing, he engaged in hemp industry and in copra industry, in partnership with a rich man in Dapitan by the name of Ramon Carrion. And so the business of Rizal, where he profited so much, or where the business which was really very productive and where Rizal was very successful actually, was the hemp industry. And Rizal was also uh, not neglecting his scientific inclination. He got into also discovering more varieties or species of insects and animals. In fact, there were um, 346 species of animals and insects that Rizal uh, studied while he was in Dapitan, and many of them he sent to Dresden Museum in Germany. Some of these were reptiles. I think mga 45 species of reptiles. And there were also crustaceans, 38 species of crustaceans, 9 species of fishes, um, um, 13 species of birds, and 9 species of mammals, and 13 species of birds. Pinadala ito ni Rizal sa Dresden Museum in Germany. And among these particular discoveries of Rizal, 3 were named after him. One was a beetle, which was called a Bugonia rizali. Another one was a dragonfly, which was named Drago rizali. And the other one is a toad, which was named Rhacophorus rizali. So, aside from his scientific interest, and aside from definitely engaging into scientific research on animals and fishes, animals and insects rather, Rizal did not neglect his fondness for writing. He continued writing. Uh, and he also engaged in arts, like for example sculpture. He molded many statues, and he even had a sculpture of Josephine Bracken done. Aside from that, Rizal engaged in a very long engagement, a very long exchange of communication with Father Pastels about religion. There is a particular book about the communication between Rizalda and Father Pastels. They were talking about religion, Rizal pointing his point of view, then he was arguing with Father Pastel, and so on and so forth, but this will be another long story. Uh, then Rizal was of wandering spirit. He was a wandering soul, definitely. Baka hanggang ngayon, nagwo-wander pa rin si Rizal, ano. Uh, he learned that there was a revolution going on in Cuba, and so being informed that there was a need for a doctor to serve in Cuba, on the part of the Spaniards, no, because the Cubans rose in arms against the Spaniards. They wanted freedom from the Spaniards already. Rizal volunteered his service as a doctor, and Rizal was waiting for an answer, but the answer to his letter came very late already. That it came in 1896, April 1896, and the response was not favorable. The application of Rizal as a military doctor was not given consideration. It was denied. And so Rizal Although he wanted to go to Cuba, did not take it so badly because at that time he was already planning so many things also. He was planning to really build, construct a very big hospital because there were already so many patients coming to him, coming from different places, far away places, mga foreigners na mga pasyente niya. And so he would want to provide them a better hospital, a better accommodation when they were around. He was thinking of that. He was planning of that. And he was also intending to engage in what we call inter-island shipping. He would be purchasing a vessel for ano for that particular business that he had in mind. So he did not take it very badly. However, when he was no longer so interested in leaving Dapitan for Manila and going to Cuba, a letter on July 1 arrived. No, and it is stated that if Rizal is still was interested to go to Cuba as a doctor, he could ask permission from the politico-military governor in Dapitan to allow him to leave Dapitan. And from Dapitan, he would be going to Manila. And from Manila, he would be sent to Barcelona, where he would be assigned by the Minister of War. Uh, he would be given his troop in Cuba by the Minister of War. And uh, Rizal, however, thinking of the many projects that he had still in the Pitan, told the politico-military governor that he could not leave immediately because of his concerns, so many projects that he would not want abandoned. When he arrived in his house in Talisay, uh, he relayed the news of the about the letter, and Josephine and Narcisa, who was in the Pitan at that time with her daughter Angelica and three other nephews of Rizal, jumped. They just Narcisa and Josephine, according to Rizal in his entry in his diary, jumped with joy. And after that, Rizal made a change of mind. No, Rizal had a change of mind, and he decided to leave the Pitan. So on July 31, 1896, Rizal left the Pitan and board a steamer, and the Tapitanos, when he was leaving, went to the shore of the Pitan and bade him goodbye. They were shouting, "Adios, doctor," and there was a brass band playing a farewell music for Dr. Jose Rizal. And so Rizal left the Pitan, arrived in Manila after a week of travel, and the rest actually was was the next part of that was not definitely very positive for Rizal, because I was thinking then, had Rizal did not leave the Pitan, perhaps Rizal could have could not have been executed in Bagong Bayan, but that is again another story, another analysis, uh, so I will be that's the end of Rizal and Dapitan. Rizal was able to convert a very rural community, a rustic community, a very the unproductive people converted into productive ones, and the Dapitan was transformed. Kaya sasabi ng marami the Dapitan of Rizal, because he really transformed the Dapitan into an ideal community. A community where the people were empowered, a community where the people practice the bayanihan spirit, a community where the people decide to improve their lots, no? Uh, and those things were done by Rizal. So this was a challenge. This is a challenge to the young people of today, and even to the not very young people, especially to people in the government, especially for those who are eyeing positions in the government, especially for those who are eyeing to be elected in position, in public positions. Rizal did not uh, did the Rizal was not a public official. Rizal had no title. Rizal had no money. Rizal had no power when he arrived in Dapitan, but he was able to transform the community because the sense of service was in his in it was in himself. It was ingrained in himself. So you don't have to be in politics. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be a politician promising that when I am elected to this particular position, I will build this, I will do this, I will give you this, etc., etc. Because if service is definitely in your heart, there is no need for you to be elected to a position. There is no need for you to be appointed to a public position to do things for your community, to do better things for your country, to do worthy things for your fellow Filipinos. And so these the young people that we have today, be like Rizal. I know in each young people that we have in this country today, there is a little Rizal in you. Be a Rizal. Be a Rizal and live the way Rizal lived his life. If you have talent, use it for your community's welfare, for the welfare of your fellow Filipinos, fellow men. If you know that there is a problem in your community and you can help solve the problem, be there, help. If you have to beautify your community, then go and help and beautify your community. So many things that we can do because we have so many things now, that we have so many ways of doing things now, unlike Rizal during his time. If Rizal was able to do everything that he did in the Dapitan, why can't you not do it? And if you can do that, therefore, I believe that Rizal, wherever he is now, would be very, very happy, and he would say, I definitely believe that I did not commit a mistake when I said the youth is the hope of the fatherland. And I would like to end this particular blog with this quotation from former Justice late Justice Justo P. Torres Jr., also a former Supreme Commander of the Knights of Rizal, when he wrote, "The Dapitan is Rizal's legacy of a human settlement where he infused among its inhabitants a high sense of human values." And I will repeat, the Dapitan is Rizal's legacy of a human settlement where he infused among its inhabitants a high sense of human values. From Justice Justo Torres Jr. So, that is a challenge to all of you young people. A challenge that you have to embrace and to prove that you can do. And I will be happy if one of you can do that. One of you, my subscribers, can write there in the comments that, "Ma'am, I am a Rizal. I have a Rizal in me, and I'm going to do what you have. I am doing something for the community." I know many of you are doing something for the community. So, with that, I end this vlog. Good night, and it's already 11:22. Time for me to sleep because I'm an old woman, 73 years old woman, and I need to sleep na. So bye-bye to all of you. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. And also do subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel yet. And more of historical uh, information like this will I will be giving you in the future. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye. Ayaw niyang umalis. Mukhang ayaw niya akong payagang umalis. What's happened?